Hello, this is Lauren, and we're live at Uprising 2014. Today with us we have Dubtonic. I was supposed to have taken you guys through the African Life 101 language lesson, which we'll do on camera this time. In South Africa, there are 11 official languages, but I use one particular language when I teach the artist how to greet in Zulu. Yes, so you guys will all be deemed Zulu warriors at the end of this lesson. The lesson is how to greeting, saying hello, and how are you? Yes, hello in Zulu is sawubona.
Sawubona.
Let's get it.
Sawubona.
Sabona.
Sawubona.
And then I'm going to ask, how are you? And your response would be, ngiyaphila. So I will say, unjani.
Niapila.
Nyampila.
Niapila.
Now I'm saying ngiyaphila. So I've just officially ordained 3 Zulu warriors in the house today. So how are you guys feeling this evening after your performance on stage?
It's a great feeling, man. Good vibes. The energy is still up and high at the Uprising Reggae Festival. And we are very happy to have been a part of it. Yeah, man, definitely.
And how are you feeling, Steve?
Yeah, man, great. The energy was nice. The audience was lovely, Lots of vibes out there, what I mean? So it was really lovely. We and Jana and Kelly, and we have a great time out there, what I mean?
Yeah, man, it's a nice feeling, to be a part of this festival, to showcase our talent, and what we have to deliver and share stage with some of our friends, Jana and Junior Kelly. So it's a nice experience, and the vibe of the people, it was nice, very receptive. Yeah, man.
Could you tell us more about Dubtonic and how and when and who Dubtonic is?
All right. Once again, you don't know the viewers of African Life. Yeah, because we're all Africans. You don't know from birth. Now, Dubtonic Crew is a 5-member band. And, how we started out, 2003, myself and Stone, drum and bass, we started out as a dub project. Recording, our dub project. That album was entitled Jungle Fever, but was not finished until, in early 2007. However, over time, through the evolution of the band, we came to be 5 members. We decided that we wanted, to just represent ourselves as a self-contained band, show band, presenting our original music, from the dub project, to where it's at now with, the vocals involved, and present that to a wider audience. And so 2007 was when the birth of the 5-member contingency, was. And 2008 we took our first tour into Europe with those, all of us, 5 members. 2007 we did a tour as well, but that was more under the dub project. We toured with, Daddy Uri and Junior Mervin. Yeah. But 2008 was when we took the road, as the 5-member contingent that we are now. We're all about spreading love, a message of peace, a message of unity, and a whole heap of fun, through the music.
And in regard to, the band being together, where did all the inspiration start? We're always looking on stage, up at the singers. You guys are a backing band. You're a band on its own as an entity. But where did the inspiration actually stem from as individuals? What brought about this passion for music? How did you start playing an instrument?
Well, it was from my grandfather was a musician. My grandfather was a great guitar player, you know, so I guess it's in my blood. And then, you know what I mean, I used to go to school with a lot of my friends who play music, you know what I mean, and then from there I pick up a little bit of music from everybody. Like somebody in my community, somebody plays a guitar, you know what I mean, they have to show me to play a chords, you know what I mean, and you know what I mean, so we pick up a little bit of there, because we're self-taught. We're not like, I don't really, personally I didn't learn music through school. I can't read music, but I can feel music, you know what I mean, so I can, it's to play on the street corners, you know, like acoustic guitar, and then, you know, and from there we, you know what I mean, we went to Kingston, you know what I mean, we started to meet some of the icon musicians, you know what I mean, like Osmond Wallace was a, you know what I mean, he's a legendary drummer. I used to see him in, at Sir Coxon's studio, and he always linked me, and you know what I mean, and then, you know what I mean, and then a lot of musicians, Sly and Robbie used to go hang out in the studio, you know what I mean, from back then, you know, it was like from in the early 90s, you know, and from there, we pick up on, you know, you understand, we just...
So that is just, you're just born with talent in yourself.
Well, with me, you know, music, it started from like early on, because as far as I can remember, when I was a child, I used to have like, you know, the elastic band around your hand. I used to have it at my ears, pull it like this and pick the notes, like popular melody with the note, with the band. And from there, my father used to make like some small guitars, you know, from, I don't know if you know, sardine tin and fishing line. You know, so that is where it started from. Then, you know, I was, you know, at church. I come from a Christian background, so, you know, I used to admire the musicians playing the church and always wanted to learn how to play, you know. And from there, you know, my brother started to show me like a 1-2 chord, and then eventually I started to play different instrument in church. Then I developed like a real love for it. I went on to study at Edna Manley College, and there, you know, I enhanced my musical abilities, and here I am today touring the world playing music with some great musicians, you know, Juban Stone, you know, Jalanzo, and other musicians, you know, and playing with, you know, artists. So it's, you know, like it. Yeah, man.
Well, back in South Africa, what we call the instrument that your dad made for you, we call it isgingi. It has a click, isgingi. It's a guitar made out of an oil. The castrol used to be in the metal cans, and you would cut a hole in the center and add a piece of wood to it with fish with fish line, and so.
It's our African ancestry, you know what I mean? So it's Africa being the foundation. All those things you're talking about are things that we've done in Jamaica, you know, naturally. So it's you know, it's an evolution of the process of an African doing his artistry, you know what I mean? Yeah, but one thing I'd like to correct, however, is the fact that Dubtonic Crew is not necessarily a backing band. You know, Dubtonic Crew is a self-contained band, you know, within themselves. But we have always, you know, made ourselves, you know, available to support our colleagues. And we've done that in so many different ways. As you noticed tonight, you know, we shared stage with Janine. We did our set. We shared stage with Janine as well as with Junior Kelly. And that's a very... you know, a good example of where things are coming from and where it is at now. If you are aware of a movement called the Reggae Revival coming out of Jamaica, Dubtonic Crew, we were responsible for, you know, doing a lot of shows, you know, that had a lot to do with the development of this movement. Bands Incorporated was one such show. which we started in 2008, which was one that has been responsible for a lot of the young bands that you see coming out of Jamaica right now. The first staging of that show that we did was one that we did in partnership with our colleagues Roots Underground. We did that in our studio, on our studio grounds, for 5 years. It was like a mini bands festival. It was so high in demand, that a lot of solo artists wanted to perform on it, but because we wanted to stay true, to what the concept of the show was all about. We started doing another show called Plug and Play, which was a weekly event. That one, we had it running for 2 years. This was 3 years after Bands Incorporated was already, ongoing. We started the Plug and Play series, which was every Friday night at the John Connor Lounge, at the hotel that was then Hilton, then became Wyndham Hotel. And at that show, we featured the idea, for that show was to actually have, pair the veteran artists with a lot of the younger artists that were coming up at the time. So you would find that we would have artists like Toots. We had the younger artists like ourselves. We had people like Ken Booth. We had people like Capleton, Richard Spice, and we had people like Raging Fire. We had people like Protege, Chronics. All these artists are artists. You name them. They've come to Plug and Play. We've hosted Dub Inc., from France at Plug and Play. We've hosted Kamil Bednarek from Poland at Plug and Play. So Plug and Play was this club event that we had that was like a platform for developing artists pairing themselves with veteran artists, to gain the experience and to also give, that kind of intimate, entertaining setting, to the people, that would come to enjoy. And so we were, still are very happy to have been a part of that developmental process, which we were also involved in and evolving, through as well. Yeah, man.
Very, very interesting, and it's a light shed on a lot of facts that lots of us hadn't known until this point. Thank you for that.
And when which year was it again? Which one won the band thing again?
Which one?
The band.
Oh yeah. I think this is something that a lot of people, were aware of. We represented Jamaica in the Global Battle of the Bands, World Finals in Malaysia. The Global Battle of the Bands is a competition that is about music from all over the world, but most, predominantly rock and heavy metal music. So we had, each nation had their own national competition, or they would have their regional competition. And from those regional competition, you would advance to the national. And from the national, the winner would advance to the world finals. In the world finals, we were among 17 bands, from countries such as Russia, the Philippines, China, Norway, Germany, Australia, South Africa was there as well, so various countries. And it was, for example, the band from that won and represented Russia, they were among 6,000 bands that competed to represent Russia in the world finals, and so it was a great honor for us to have won that by unanimous decision, by the judges and even the audience. The audience there agreed, so we were very happy to have represented reggae on that level. We were happy to have represented Jamaica, on that level, and so the journey continues.
Well, as the journey continues, what has been one of the most memorable, I'd say, sets that you guys have ever played? And may I ask, with who was that? Was it just Dubtonic alone, or was it with one particular artist?
Well, that's a look. It's tricky.
I'm sure
To be honest, personally,
Yeah.
as Dubtonic, we did some I could say Dubtonic as a band together, you know, we did some really great. Cause we did some like we play like dub, we play like chance dub, you know, like we play like freestyle dub, like we play, and and the music just lead us into a different level, you know. What I mean, cause we just if you look on our YouTube stuff, you might have an idea what, you know what I mean. So we did like some shows in Poland, you know what I mean. It was really great. We toured with Michael Rose too and Black Oro, and we play him as back him, and then we play our set also, you know what I mean. And we have great times on the road with him, you know what I mean. So I mean, you know what I mean. So I don't know. For me personally, I can't specific and say this show or that show, but I mean, as Dubtonic crew, that's where we play the best music, you know what I mean, as far as it's concerned for me, you know what I mean. So it's a Juba.
Man, like, you know, every experience is such a different experience. And the thing about our music is, you know, it's about freedom vibe. We have a track on our most, I think it's on that album, Freedom Dub is the name of that track. And it does really represent what we do as Dubtonic crew. You know, we are 5 members, 5 different personality. You know, I mean, we have the vocal talents in the group. There are 4 of us in the band that sings. We have 2 lead vocalists, and then we do background vocals as well. But then here is where our strength is: dub music. You know what I mean? And it's like we allow ourselves to just, you know, we lose ourselves, you know, in the music, you know, through the spiritual vibe that, you know, because the music that we're playing, you know, it is coming from a good place of love and openness. You know, it's about togetherness. You know what I mean? And so we evolve through the process of that music when we're performing. And we see that, you know, that communication between us and the audience, you know, the joy that they feel. You know what I mean? And one always say that, you know, the power of the word is very powerful. The concept of the name Dubtonic Crew, as you know, dub, you know, a lot of people consider it to be the foundation of roots rock reggae, right? Hardcore drum and bass, you know, rocking. And then tonic, we all know that tonic is supposed to be, you know, liquid nutrient that is good, you know, for your system. It's for health purposes, you know. And so therefore, putting the 2 words together, it does represent the music we do.
And what will we be expecting from Dubtonic in future? How many CDs are out at this present moment?
Look here.
We have how much? 3 official CD. Oh, the first one was Jungle Fever. Next, Dubtonic. Next, the last one is Evolution. And it's some nice music like heavy drum and bass and dub. If you want to hear some dub, check Dubtonic, you know. Crazy dub. You know, freedom music, you know, vibe music, spirit music, you know. Yeah, because it's all about surrender. You can't be stuck up when you play music, you understand? It's a free vibe, you know, because music frequency, you know, so you have to open yourself, surrender, and just play, get lost in the music, connect with the people, connect with the music, connect with yourself, and just have fun. Because that's what music is, you know? Yeah.
And what message of inspiration would you have for those up-and-coming musicians? You know, there are youngsters out there who are drawn into the reality of the world, you know, and being teenagers, there's a lot of peer pressure on youngsters out there, especially it's happening all over the world. What message of encouragement or inspiration would you have to the youths out there?
You know what? This world that we're living in and the society that we're a part of as it is now, in everything we do, it's always about a balance. We find now that the greater amount of influence tends to be weighing the scale more on the negative, you know? One have to be true to themselves at the end of the day. One's conscience always speaks to them, and whenever you're doing something, your conscience always tells you whether it feels right or not. You know what I mean? And with that, I'd say always let your conscience be your guide. We are Rastafarians. You understand? But check this. From the perspective of, or the point of view of being a liberator, being liberated, not from a religious standpoint, because since the inception of Rasta, it was about being revolutionary, in a good way, in a positive way. It wasn't about religion. It was about being a revolutionary soldier, defending truth and rights for all people, right across the board. So we don't want, when people hear we say Rasta, for them to be fearful, because Rasta is not about, it's not about being rough and scaring the people. It's about welcoming the people with love, you understand, and defending the rights of the people. You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean, the reality of the situation is let your conscience be a guide, and just know that above all things, above religion, above politics, and above all these things, love is the ultimate. You know what I mean? Yeah, man, love is the ultimate. And when you feel love and when you know love, you know peace. And when you know peace, you know togetherness. And togetherness is unity. So that is what we say. Let your conscience be a guide. Yeah, man.
The Dubtonic crew. Well, we from African Life would like to say thank you for affording us the opportunity to interview you. You guys, we wish you all the best, on your future endeavors, on your future tours. And yeah, it was a wonderful evening, wonderful performance, and we look forward to seeing you perhaps in Africa sometime soon.
Very soon. Very soon, I hope. Very soon in South Africa. Very soon in Ethiopia. We've been to Guinea a few years ago, and that was a blast. We had about 70,000 people, on that field. It was a great, great experience inside, and there were people out, and that was Dubtonic crew with Takana Zion. That was a great experience. We want to experience that again, and so therefore we want to go all through our motherland, and we want to see a level of unity between all the countries of Africa. We have a song called My Dream. My dream is saying we dream of a United States of Africa, right? And which is actually a dream. We want to see it come to reality. It's right here on this album. Yeah, Dubtonic, you can go and get your copy. Yeah, My Dream is right here. So with Sistrin from South Africa, African Life, you don't know, Dubtonic crew representing for all the African people. And guess what? We are all Africans. Matters not what your skin tone is. We are all Africans. And what is Dubtonic crew saying? Above all things, it's love. What is love? Love is togetherness. And when you have togetherness, you have peace. One love.
Thank you so much. Thank you. African Life, we are peace.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.